Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Suddenly Silver and another episode here by Lorenzo. I'm Chevron as the Protoss and Voss Star Warrior is a Zerg this game. We're playing on Clontes Meyer, and of course I'm going to be trying my Forge Fast Expand build once more. As I said, let's have a look. As I said, it's currently Wednesday, which is also the day that this video is going to be online if all goes well. It's the first time in a few days that the day I'm recording the video is actually the same day as that I'm going to be uploading it. This means I don't have a video buffer anymore. Sound like a graphics card. I don't have a video buffer anymore to ensure my schedule, which means I'm going to be working hard to keep it up and hope I can. I was planning to do this video yesterday, but some fairly stressful things happened and I didn't manage to. Now, if I wanted to show you these things. I've got pictures of them and they weren't very nice, but it all got solved in the end. But in the last video I added a video of some fire in a bush I found, and then that screwed up the video on YouTube for some people. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm not going to do it again, at least not without finding out what's up. So this is just going to be Starcraft, this game. And let's go find out what this probe has to see. Of course, this probe was sent after the 9 pylon, which is a fairly good opportunity to scout, to see if maybe a 6 pool is going down or anything else fishy. Well, I scout this and the Zerg shuts down my scouting. He kills the probe, but I'm fairly confident I didn't see a pool. There were enough drones to kill it easily, so a 6 pool would have about 6 or 8 drones maybe. So I didn't see that, so I can feel confident to go ahead with the Forge Fast Expand. Here the Forge going down in the front, and I'm continuing to make probes. After the for the Forge Fast Expand build, you make a pylon at 9, and then the Forge you do it at 14. After which you can immediately build a Nexus, or you can opt, if you're feeling a little bit more threatened, you can opt to make a photon cannon or a gateway to finish your wall off. I don't remember what I did in this game, but I felt fairly confident about the spawning pool, so I'm going to go for the Nexus first. Well, Nexus first is in a different build, but the Forge Fast Expand with a Nexus first after the Forge. Yeah, that's the name probably. This probe is running around a little bit idly because he's waiting for the resources to come in, and I build it at 410 resources. Not perfect, but it's getting a lot tighter than it used to be. So here's the Overlord, and this is one of the drawbacks of the Forge Fast Expand build. It takes a good while before you get anti-air. Because the gateway, well, I'm going to go for a cannon now, because otherwise I haven't seen what the Zerg is up to. So I'm going to put a gateway after this cannon. Which means that, of course, only after this gateway can we build a cybernetics core. After the cybernetics core, stalkers become available, and that's the first anti-air we get. Apart from building a cannon under the Overlord, which is a somewhat doubtful strategy. So it takes a while to get anti-air, so while the Forge Fast Expand build with its quick Nexus guarantees a good economy early on, it's also very scoutable. The Overlords can just remain here in the base and he can see whatever I do. And there's really nothing I can do about this. So if you're a Zerg and you suspect or you see that your opponent is going Forge Fast Expand, just go ahead and put those Overlords in there. He's not going to be able to send them to dispatch them until the 5 or 6 minute mark. You see, my gateway is only getting close to done now. Transferring over some probes here to the second base. So my gateway is getting done now, putting the second pylon here to ensure the cannon and the gateway remains powered in the event of an attack. And now I can make a cybernetics core, which I do immediately. Because I really want to get rid of this Overlord, and of course this one too. It's as a rule, it's not good if your opponent knows what you're up to. I think that much is obvious. Idle probe here, small mistake. This one should have been doing something. Mining probably over here. And another mistake that I have had before. The second Nexus doesn't have its rally point set. The probes are just chilling here on the corner, and when you're just playing around like that, you know, blah, 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 it's quite hard to see the probes there, except for the fact that the mineral line remains quite empty. I'm going to put a probe here because, as you can see, at the back of the natural expansion are rocks. It's a fairly long walk to them, all the way around the map, but it's of course always a pity to have a million Zerglings suddenly pooling in your base. That's something you don't want. Zealot here on hold. I think this choke is too large for the Zealot to hold, but he's trying anyway. And this gateway, I think it's now going to build a Stalker. At least it should, because it's chronoed. This is a wasted chrono boost. That's a mistake. I probably wanted to build a stalker, but I was supply blocked. That's it. Yeah, I wanted to build a stalker, but it was supply blocked. So 2 mistakes there. First, of course, getting supply blocked, and the second one is to chrono boost the idle gateway. That one's obvious. Chrono boosting here the warp gate research. That one's good. That's a good move. Always get the warp gate research. Another mistake here, should put guys in this gas, of course, and do so as soon as the refinery finishes. So, second and third gateway going down. And in the meantime I have noticed that the probes weren't doing anything, and they are now happily mining. Mothership core is coming out, which will help immensely with the defense should something come through. I can remember to photon overcharge it, and that helps, basically turns the Nexus into a planetary fortress. So while this Overlord is getting killed, there's been some news from Blizzard. They're enabling spawning, and for those of you that weren't around in the Starcraft 1 day, spawning is basically letting someone that doesn't own the game play with someone that does own the game, which is of course a pretty awesome feature. If you've got a friend that would like to check out the game but is hesitant to buy it because he might not know if he would like it, he can now get the starter edition, and if you party up with him on Battle.net, he will get the full features for that game. So he can then play with all the races, all the units, as if he would have purchased the game. Of course, he couldn't play the campaign, he couldn't play by himself, he couldn't play on his own. But with you, with his buddy, he can play just as if he owned the game. This is a great feature to let people try out the game and probably get them into it, because let's face it, once you play a few games of Starcraft, you're going to want to play more of them. The game is just that good. I'm getting out a robo here. I'm a little bit worried because I have really no idea what he's up to. I sent a probe a while ago, scouted his second base, but the Zerg on a second base really isn't surprising. So I'm sending here another probe, and let's see what his orders are. What are his orders? His orders are nothing, apparently. Ooh, we've got some roaches here, and there's quite a lot of them. So retreat past the wall, put a time warp, and try and make these stalkers do something together with this cannon, but I think it's quite obvious there's just a few too many roaches. This observer would have been much better suited as an immortal, which are of course great against roaches with their lots and lots of damage, about 50 I believe against armored, and roaches are in fact armored. Warpin of fresh stalkers managed to kill a few roaches, but there's still too many remaining. The Mothership core trying its best to take them out, but the 8 damage from the repulsor cannon is just not going to cut it. Here's an immortal finally coming out, being chrono boosted, but it's going to be a while till it gets here, and the robo is going to be sniped. Building a cannon here, warping in some zealots because, hey, why not? And the zealots again, they managed to wound the roaches. The Mothership core is still plugging away at it, but it just takes so many shots. The roaches have got 145 hit points, so 7 damage, so that's over 20 shots. It's 21 shots, and then it's not counting life regeneration. 21 shots for a Mothership core to kill a roach. Now there's about 5 roaches left, so that's only about 120 shots. Yeah, that's not going to happen before this base dies. So the Mothership core is trying its best, got 3 kills so far. And this is, I don't know what's up with my head here. Photon overcharge the Nexus, please. I'm just not going to do it. It's not because I don't feel like it, it's because it doesn't pop into my head. It's maybe because the roaches have been in the game since Wrath of Wings of Liberty. Oh, the offensive GG, I hate it. If I just overcharged the Nexus, I could have probably made something out of this. But as of now, I don't. No excuse, that's the biggest mistake of this game. The photon overcharge on the Nexus, well, there's a lot more roaches coming in, but then at least I could have held it a little while. Calling him out on his BM, but then admitting defeat. Right, so I'm going to upload this game and then go to work. Probably make some more tonight for the Friday release. Anyway, have a nice Wednesday, have a nice week, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.